and also Iona Tea Garden, who put together acupressure and emotional states. It's called the Head, Neck, Shoulder Release. It's found on, it's either page 4 or 5 of our emergency kit of best practices. And it's a protocol that you can do on yourself, and you can also do on another person. So we'll first demonstrate it on ourselves, and then we'll work with another person, and we'll do it with another person. So these points, each of them is related to some level of trauma, depression, body feelings that often just get blocked within us. So let's find the points first on ourselves. And just to go over acupressure a little bit, we're going to use our fingers and just for a moment press really firmly on top of your legs. Just really, really firmly. Now half that pressure. So the kind of pressure that Capacitar uses is not like shiatsu, which is very directional pressure, and it really sometimes hurts when you're in a very sore spot. But we're medium to medium light pressure. I want you to think of the bones inside your fingers like your acupuncture needles. And then as you hold the point, put a little curve in your fingertip. So we're going to just curve our fingertips and pull slightly into the tissues. And often you'll feel pulsing. Now I'm going to say repeatedly to you, don't let your head find the point. Let your fingers, your middle finger in particular, find the point. Because if you try to do it perfectly with your head, it'll be more difficult to find the point. And just trust your middle fingers, and gradually the pulse will practically jump into your fingers. And that's what we'll be looking for. As you hold both sides of the body, we'll do parallel sets of points. Often there's a difference in the rhythm of the points. And then gradually, the pulses begin to have the same rhythm. Usually for adults, it's 2 to 5 minutes. For children, it's less than a minute. Okay? So let's find these points, and then we'll have a nice little session of body work together. The first point is found if you go right to the edge of where the arm connects to the trunk of the body, move up just about an inch. There's somebody trying to get in. Just about an inch. And you're going to find 2 points that are quite sensitive right here. That would be point number 1. And they're quite, in some cases, they really hurt. Okay. Point number 2, right at the curve of the shoulder blades. So reach down your back, and just where you would almost feel where your shoulder blade is, just about an inch away from the spinal column, you're going to find 2 points. These points also, if some people really feel a lot of pain in those points, it's almost like it's one of the areas where a lot of emotion gets blocked. I remember one time, a difficult point in my life, it felt like a knife was stabbing into my back there. These are points also that are known as trigger points. They're used to diagnose chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia often. Point number 3, I like to use my 3 fingers, and you can hold just right on top of the shoulders, or if you're doing this on yourself, crossing your arms and holding this way. And these are also powerful points. They're called the excess baggage points. They're where we hold just all the weight of the worry of our lives. Okay? Point number 4, we haven't learned those 2 points. If you look at the height of your neck or the person that you're working on their neck, halfway up, and just about an inch out, just right in the muscle ridge there, between the muscles and the bones and the tendons, you'll find 2 pulses that are quite strong. And especially with trauma, one of the areas where we block a lot of energy is in the throat and the neck area. Sometimes I work with women's groups, and the women, this is how they talk. They've lost their own power in their voices. It's almost like you can see a person healing just by the quality of the sound of their voice. And Iona Tea Garden often talks about the bands of emotional holding. Amina Rahim talks about the armoring. So lots of places where women armor is the jaw, neck area, and it's holding it all tight in here. So these are powerful points that often are quite sensitive. Point number 5, we've often done these 2 points on ourselves for headaches. And I like to use my thumbs to find these points if I'm doing this on myself. And your thumbs will fit into 2 indentations under the occipital ridge on either side of the base of the skull. And these are points also for depression, for pain in the neck and shoulder area, also for brain balance, and for helping with migraines. And then the final point, right at the top of the head, I like to use both hands, using my 3 fingers of both hands, right on the top of the head. These are rather powerful points for depression. So it's almost like with this protocol, we're moving all of that energy up the back, out the top of the head for just releasing. Quite a powerful release. Those of you who do body work on others, you can do this protocol with the person lying down, face up, and you're working under the body, pulling forward and upward, letting the weight of the body actually be a leverage. So you're pressing into the points with the weight of the body on top of your hands there. It's quite powerful as an add-on if a person really suffers a lot of blockage in their upper back. So we're going to work in pairs, and Vivian, I'd like to offer this to you this morning, if that would be helpful to you. If you want to come over here. So find a partner, and I'm going to turn the chair sideways because we'll just be filming it. And you can sit, just relax against the chair. So find a partner, one person giving and the other person receiving. So as we start the head, neck, shoulder release, those of you who are receiving, you can just relax and let go and enjoy. If you wish, you could remove your glasses, but be sure to put them into a safe place so we don't have the trauma of somebody stepping on or sitting on somebody's glasses, okay? So we'll start first by rubbing our hands together. Imagine the energy of the earth coming into your body and out your hands, so you're really grounded as you do the protocol. And then just cover yourself with that sense of light and protection. So you are able to do this protocol with the other person without absorbing any of their tension. And we'll start first with a couple of the holds with the halo hold. Hands on either side of the head of the person, and just coming into their energy field, always with great respect. And just a moment more with the halo hold. Gently release. And if your fingers feel a little buzzy, just you're off, or you can also hold the side of your legs as another way to ground your core. The head hold. One hand high on the forehead, gently touching the forehead of the person. The other hand right at the base of the skull. The hand over the forehead connects with the thinking or cognitive brain, where thoughts or memories are stored. The hand at the base of the skull connects with the emotional brain, the limbic system or reptilian brain. That is the whole area of the automatic responses of the systems of the body, as well as trauma and body feelings. So this simple head hold often helps stabilize somebody who is emotionally upset, somebody who's crying, somebody who's experiencing flashbacks or just strong traumatic memories. And usually the person moves into deep quiet. So we'll do the head hold for just a moment more. And when you're ready, just very, very gently release the head hold and clear your hands or ground at the side of your legs. We'll do one more of the holds, the shoulder hold. Hands gently holding on top of the shoulders. And this also is a position where we're able to promote deep relaxation. We're connecting with the parasympathetic nervous system, and the result is one of deep relaxation. quieted down or put into a very calm, peaceful state before we start acupressure. So again, start with your middle finger and find the points first on yourself, going right to the edge where your arm connects with the trunk of your body. Move up just about an inch, and you'll find 2 points that are somewhat sensitive. And in the case of the other person, normally you'll feel pulsing. So again, go to the edge of the arm where the arm connects with the trunk of the body, move up about an inch, and let your middle fingers find the points. So don't do it with the head. Let your fingers find the points, and then just gently move into those 2 points. And if the other person doesn't feel like you're exactly on the point, just ask them to help you find the points. Now the most important thing is if you're feeling the pulses, what you don't want to be is a sponge. So as you're feeling the pulses, it's so important to imagine that you are clear and separate from the other person. And if it feels like your fingers are absorbing some of that tension or energy of the other person, imagine you're like a garden hose, and this energy can flow up your arms and down your legs into the earth. So you stay clear and separate. It's really important. After holding these points for a couple of minutes, gradually you'll begin to feel the same rhythm in both of the pulses. And if you don't feel anything, not to worry. It's probably still working. So we'll hold just a moment more, and then gently release and really clear your fingers. Point number 2, right at the curve of the shoulder blade. So just kind of look at the person's back and just kind of gauge about where the shoulder blade would be and then where the curve would be, and hook into 2 points. It's usually about 4 to 5 inches down from the top of the shoulders. And if you, again, let your middle fingers find the points rather than analyzing where the point is, the pulses just come up and meet you. And we'll hold that just a moment more. Very, very gently release and clear. For the points on top of the shoulders, number 3, use your fingers in both hands and just press gently on top of the shoulders. You'll find like a muscle ridge there, the trapezius muscles, and your fingers just gently fit right into those muscle ridges. And if a person is pregnant, never press heavily on top of those points. And if for most people, these are areas of the body that usually feel rather painful. These are called the excess baggage points. But in particular, if you press down and a woman is pregnant, it's like pressing down into their uterus, into the baby. So you want always to be very, very light up here. So just a moment with the points number 3 on top of the shoulders. And when you're ready, just gently release and clear. Point number 4, I like to gauge the height of a person's neck, and then just about an inch out from the spinal column, let your middle finger find 2 pulses. And often these are rather strong pulses, and they're rather easy to cultivate. Jump into your fingers as it And in many cultures and languages, we have that saying, that person is a pain in the neck. It's really interesting when I'm working with other languages. There's a similar phrase in a lot of different languages. So this is the place in our body where we often carry a lot of tension. like they're absorbing the person's energy. Keep it draining down and out of you so you stay clear and separate. So a moment more. Very gently release and clear. Point number 5, I like to cup my hands, reach under and up to find the 2 points right at the base of the skull. So cup your fingers, reach up under the occipital ridge, and your middle fingers will find 2 strong pulses on either side of the neck. And these are very powerful points. We use them for so many headaches, depression, brain balance, pain in the neck and upper part of the back. So they're powerful points. And often you can just feel the pulse strongly and then it comes into balance rather quickly. And a moment more. Very gently release and clear. Number 6 at the top of the head, I like to use both hands, the 3 fingers of both hands, and just barely touch the very top of the hip. This is a part of the body that, in some people, it really hurts if you press down on top of the hip, but very lightly. It's also the area of the crown center, the crown chakra. And this is a very powerful point for depression. So just a moment more. Gently lift off. And we'll finish the protocol just using the crown hold. So thumbs together, holding the top of the head and fingertips across the forehead. Again, part of the holes, and it's a nice ending position. And a moment more. Very gently release. And then to finish, we'll lightly brush the person's field. Normally the person would like to sleep after that, but you would like something too before lunch. So we'll rub down their back clockwise to wake them up. Anti-clockwise puts them to sleep, clockwise wakes them up. And if I'm in Argentina or South Africa, you do just the opposite. Anti-clockwise wakes them up, clockwise puts them to sleep. So it's like water runs down the drain in the opposite direction below the equator. And then with great care and respect, disconnect your energy from the other person. And don't forget to clear yourself, shaking on, touching the floor, touching the plants, whatever is appropriate for clearing. And just notice how that feels. And then when you're ready, you can change position. So the person who gave, you get to stay and get a second.